Welcome back, everybody, and if you're new to the channel, this is my 2022 Hyundai Elantra N, and I'm going to tell you the first thing I love about this vehicle, which is the performance. Now, that's the obvious one, which is why I want to get it out of the way. At this point, you've watched plenty of other videos on YouTube of reviewers giving their opinion on the vehicle, but I want to give you my opinion from an owner's perspective. So we're going to talk about all the good and the bad. The first thing I'm going to get into here is the N mode and the N mode customization screen. By far one of my favorite things about this vehicle. You're able to change the way the steering feels, the way the exhaust sounds, the way the suspension feels as well, amongst a few other things. You're also able to save these settings in a couple different variants as well, so that way if you have different drivers or different driving styles, you're able to change this by the press of a button on the steering wheel. Launch control is another thing that you're going to love if you plan on taking this vehicle to the track. You're able to adjust the RPM settings as well, and it's really easy to use once you get the hang of it. Not only does it have launch control, but it also has a built-in 0 to 60 timer. You can change it from 0 to 60 to 50 to 100, whatever you want, and it'll time that for you. I am a huge fan of the LED DRLs that are on the vehicle. They don't stand out too much, but they also give the vehicle a nice aggressive look, whether it's in the daytime or the nighttime. I really like the keyless entry system on the door handles. You can simply put your hand behind the handle to unlock it and then run a finger over the outside to lock it. Now, the front end styling is something that's often brought up in a lot of reviews. You either love it or you hate it. However, I can tell you, once you see one of these in person, your thought will probably change. But I do feel that some of the colors look a little bit better with the black styling on the front. For example, the intense blue is a darker color, and I feel it flows better and kind of hides that front end styling just a little bit. Not that I'm against the way that it looks at all, but I just think it looks better with the darker colors. Now, I probably would have preferred a button that was a little bit more hidden, so that way you're not having to press it and get a fingerprint on it every time. However, I do like the way that they hid it within the tail light assembly. You can't really tell it's there, and it's easy just a press of a button to open the trunk. Now, I've said this before in my previous review, but I gotta tell you, these front seats are the most comfortable seats I've ever had in a vehicle. I've heard from others that they think it's a little bit more snug or maybe not as comfortable on the street drives, but I completely disagree with that. I think these things are beyond comfortable, and I'm super happy with them. Now, these two 10.25-inch screens are one of the main reasons many people love the interior. Now, this is obviously a recent update, and a lot of the Hyundai and even Kia vehicles are switching to this one-panel display, and it's not surprising that it was put in the Elantra N, but I'm assuming that might be considering that for the future in other vehicles like the Veloster N. Not only do these brakes perform incredibly well, but they look great too. It's another one of those things that make this vehicle stand out from many of the other vehicles. They're painted red from the factory with the big N logo stamped on the front floating caliper. Now, I know the exhaust is an obvious choice, but there's a few reasons I want to point this out. One, I believe that they made it look good with the exhaust tips. Also, you're able to change the way it sounds, so it doesn't always have to be super loud. Having the ability to make it really quiet as well is just really nice for different driving styles. The interior door handles are something that's definitely overlooked by many, but I just want to say I really like the way that they look, and they're made of a really, really nice material, not only for the front, but of course for the back seats as well. The ambient lighting is definitely a nice touch to the interior. I like that they didn't overdo it, but they just put a simple line across the dash to give the interior a nice little glow. You're also able to change this color in the settings on the vehicle with over 10 different choices given from the settings, but you can change it to a custom color, so technically your options are unlimited. Now, I've said this in the past, the paint quality on this car is terrible, and that remains true. However, I do want to say that I love this color. The intense blue is something different and something that's not often picked by most people that buy the Elantra N, as they often go for the cyber gray or performance blue, or at least those are the most popular colors. But this color looks blue in the daytime and can look purple at night, but when the sun hits it, the metallic flake really pops. This may be a little controversial, but I love the body lines on this vehicle. And the body lines on this are going to be the same as they are on any other Elantra. However, I think it looks really good with the N, and I think it makes it look aggressive and definitely makes it look unique. Now, I am a huge fan of the DCT transmission, and for a few reasons. One, it shifts faster than the manual transmission. It comes with the NGS mode. It's the only way to get the sunroof in the US, and also it comes with remote start. Now, I could probably talk to you all day about how much I love this vehicle, but at the same time, we gotta talk about the bad stuff. But before we do that, I need you guys to help me out. Tell YouTube I'm doing a good job. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe how quickly we're getting there. But the algorithm works by the likes, it works by the views and all that. And if you could help me get to 1,000 likes, I'd really appreciate it. But let's get moving on to the bad things about the car. Starting with something simple on the bad list here is the rear seat does not split into two. It's not as big of a deal for some, but if you're someone that typically needs to fold that back seat down with having a passenger in the back, you're out of luck on the Elantra N. These huge chrome Hyundai logos are such an eyesore. I don't understand why they couldn't make them a little bit smaller, or at least make them a satin black. I've gone back and forth with this one a couple times, but the fog lights not being there is kind of a disappointment in my opinion. It's definitely not needed, don't get me wrong, but I think it would have looked good if they just added a single LED bulb on each side. If you're someone that often has passengers in your back seat, this does not have rear climate control. And now adding even a couple more bad things to the rear seats. One, there's no charging ports in the rear seats, and there's no pockets on the back of the front seats as well. Now I know they're a racing bucket style seat, however, at least one pocket would have been nice. This is something a lot of you have asked about, and I don't like it either, but truthfully it does get hidden by the steering wheel while you're driving, but otherwise it's something that they should have definitely done something with. Now I'm very thankful that the Elantra has heated seats, but for the summertime and for those of you in the southern climates, ventilated seats are not an option. Staying on the topic of the front seats, I'm really disappointed to say that both the seats in the front are manual. Power seats are not an option for this car at all. Now thankfully it does have cruise control, but it does not have adaptive cruise control. It is just not an option for the Elantra N. I was very disappointed to find out that the lights from the factory are all an amber color, so I had to change out all the inside lights to LED myself. Now I might be alone on this, but this C-pillar plastic thing that they put on the outside of the vehicle here, not only does it feel cheap and it scratches very, very easily, to me it just doesn't flow with the car. Now, I love the way that the steering wheel looks, I love the way that it feels, however, I'm not happy with the quality of the leather. I've already scratched mine just from getting in it, and I've seen many others post about it on Reddit and Facebook as well, how they all have scratches on their steering wheel as well, and it's unfortunate because it's not an easy fix. Now, if you live in a colder climate, you're going to be forced to buy some winter tires. These vehicles come with summer tires that are super grippy, and I promise you they're terrible in the snow. So if you are getting an Elantra N, just keep in mind you're going to have to spend at least another $1,000 on some winter tires. I wish they would have spent a little bit more time on the interior. I do think it looks nice. It really is great, don't get me wrong, but the plastic is really cheap, and especially that handle in the center, I feel like I could just rip the thing off. And here we are in 2022 with no wireless Apple CarPlay and no wireless Android Auto. Now I know a lot of you guys that are watching this video are either in the market for a car or you just like the Elantra N in general. And if you're looking for advice on if you should get one or not, I'm not the person to ask because I'm going to tell every single one of you that you should get one. I mean, I freaking own one and I absolutely love it. But at the same time, I don't think that you should be paying over MSRP for this vehicle. It's still a Hyundai, but at the same time, it's worth it. It's phenomenal, it's fun, and you could drive it daily. To me, it looks great. I love the color, I love everything about it, truthfully. I'm nitpicking when I talk about a lot of the things that I don't like. It's just a lot of things that they could add or make better in the future. And I'm sure they'll come out with a refresh. Who knows if they'll come out with a performance package like they did with the Veloster, but we'll see. And with all that being said, if you want to help support the channel, hit the like button, help us get to 1,000 likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.